We're going to be changing some motor mounts on a 2006 Chrysler Pacifica 3.5 liter engine. What we've done is we've jacked up the wheels to get them off the ground, and we're going to proceed to diagnose the front motor mount to make sure we do have movement. And okay, let's check this mount. Okay, as you can see, there's clearly movement in that mount. Looks like the top of it is busted off or collapsed. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to change these mounts. What we got a couple of tools that we're gonna need. I mean, we got an air compressor, we got our mounts, we got an 18 millimeter, we got a 21 millimeter impact socket, we got our impact, we got us a couple of ratchets, we got us a 10 millimeter wrench, we got us a 10 millimeter socket, and some gloves, of course, some safety glasses, and jack stands. We'll be using some jack stands. We'll be using multiple jacks, one to suspend the engine, the cradle, and we're going to go ahead and proceed to taking some stuff apart. What we're going to do is we're going to lower it back down. We're going to go ahead and remove some stuff off the top of the engine. Top of the engine cover, it just snaps on from these snaps, two snaps in the back. It just pops right off of there. So we'll take that off so we can get to the engine. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to remove this air filter assembly so we can get to these this front motor mount, just so we can give us access to where this motor will raise. So you're gonna remove this little clamp here. You're gonna move this other little clamp here that holds this little thing. Okay, and then we're gonna remove this harness connector that goes to the mass airflow sensor. So we're going to go ahead and remove this stuff for you. We got a bolt here that holds the assembly. You probably want to take the cover off this air filter, remove the air filter. So for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and remove this stuff for you, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're taking off this little connector that connects that to the intake. We got a bolt here that we took off. We got another one on the adjust side. And what we're doing is we're going to take this off. And once we got that off, we're down to our air filter. We're going to take our air filter out. Once we get our air filter out, the only thing left that is holding this assembly in is this nut right here. It's holding this. It's a 10 millimeter. You'll see a bolt right here, but it doesn't come out. The assembly will pop up right past it. So we'll come up and it'll come right out. All right, and that gets us down to our front mount, which we'll have to loosen these 3 bolts, and we'll loosen these front 2 bolts. And that'll give us some play on the engine to be able to raise the engine to be able to get to the front mount to get clearance to allow this mount to get in. What year model you have, you'll have this above your radiator hose. I'm not exactly sure. It's some kind of vacuum device, but it's got an 8 millimeter bolt right here. That will come out, and it actually goes through the frame and screws onto the bottom part of the unit. That will slide out, and you'll see where it screws down. It screws down to the bottom of it, and this is just to get to the lower radiator hose so we can release the lower radiator hose. We'll put a bucket underneath that we got down here that will to capture some of the antifreeze that comes out. Most videos that we've seen, it calls to disconnect the battery. For this demonstration, we're not going to be doing that. I really don't see a need to, but for safety purposes, you might want to consider after watching this video. What we've done is we've removed this unit. We also took off our negative ground cable to allow us to get some clearance to get this out of the way. We've removed our upper radiator hose to give us flexibility on the engine being able to come up and down. Be sure before you take off your upper hose that you make sure the engine is cooled off at a good temperature. Otherwise the engine will have pressure in it when you go to take this hose off. It'll make a huge mess, possibly get burned. So you really want to make sure the engine is at a cool temperature. After you remove the hose, go ahead and stuff the inlet with a rag. That way it's not dripping all over you. Done is we went ahead and jacked up the front of the vehicle. We've placed some jack stands on the frame, not on the cradle. The cradle will need some to be free. That way the front part of the cradle can drop. And what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we are going to loosen these 3 motor mount bolts, bracket bolts, and we're going to loosen our 2 motor mount bolts. That way the engine will allow us to raise.
Yep.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to place a block underneath here on our jack, and we're going to put it underneath the oil pan, and we're going to proceed to raise up the engine, because we're going to loosen up, take this bolt off here, and this is the bottom of the motor mount. So whenever we do this, you stay right there, AJ, and I want to just demonstrate the engine moving and coming up. Okay, now that we've got our that stable there, we're going to go ahead and remove our bolt right here. Okay, we'll remove that bolt. That should allow our engine to move. There it goes. Okay, now you can see our motor mount is actually free. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our cradle bolts right there and right here. But first we're going to position this a jack right here, because this thing is just going to hang. Okay. Show you on the last portion of this video is we also need to remove the bolt on the rear side mount back there in the back there. That'll allow, once you put your block under here and raise your engine, it allows your engine to go up. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove our cradle bolts, which is a 21mm bolt. We've also positioned a jack underneath our cradle just for safety purposes, make sure it won't come down, but we still have our rear cradle bolts in place, so it's not going to fall, it's just going to lower. We've jacked up our engine to get this mount out. You might have to pull down on the cradle to work it out. Be careful when shifting this mount when you're taking it out, because it's probably busted and it's filled up with hydraulic fluid and it will drip all over you. I managed to make that mistake and we made us a pretty good mess. I kind of wish we would have been wearing our safety glasses, but for this demonstration, be sure to wear your safety glasses. Okay, we've got our mount out, our mount assembly. What we got this nut right here that holds this on there. It is a 21mm, so you can see it locks on, it only goes one way. You can see where our mount was busted clearly. So we're going to go ahead and remove this and install our new mount. Okay, we're going to remove our nut. That takes off our old mount. We're going to get our new mount, set it in there, lock our keeper in place. Put our nut on there. Lock that down. I'm not sure what the torque specs are for this, but I want to say our torque specs are going to be just make them nice and tight. Got our new mount installed. We got a jack underneath the cradle that we jacked it up and got it lined up. We're going to get our bolts and just get them started on the front and on the rear back here. We're basically just reversing what we did. We're going to go ahead and get everything tightened back up, and get back to you with the end result. Okay, we've got everything back together. We've got under there. We've looked at it. We tested, made sure there was no more movement in our mount. It's been a successful install. You might want to make sure you wear something that you don't mind getting dirty, because you will probably get dirty during this process. I hope this video helps you. Anyone who watches when they do a motor mount replacement or 2006 Chrysler Pacifica. Thank you for watching.